Time for an elevator ride. Oh, they're right about. They're on the other side of the wall. Shell made me her assistant. She was teaching me the basics of data management. He's moving up in the world. $10.29. Wonder if there's any relevance to that number.
So this is one of Preservation's laboratories.
It's so dark I can barely see.
Just a moment. If I can reroute the power to the circuit.
Lights.
You got the lights working.
Smell how stale the air is. This room hasn't been in use for many years.
It was thanks to Kryl and Galulja that we managed to locate this place.
You may remember that my earring contained the control code for the gate to the Golden City. As it was Preservation that constructed the portal, we reasoned that the code to operate it might include a signature of some sort, unique to their organization.
Ah.
So I took a closer look, and a line-by-line examination yielded a string of symbols identifying the code's author. We then began accessing the nodes for every door in Everkeep, seeking out control codes which contained those same symbols. After a grueling search, we finally discovered our prize behind door number 1860, the entrance to the facility in which we now stand. I'd probably still be at it if Galulja hadn't been around to assist me.
1860. There's relevancy to that,
I
too.
took breaks, but Shale never stopped working. Not even once.
Like you need one of General's energy drinks.
Those concoctions would probably do me more harm than good, but I appreciate the sentiment. In any case, this next part will require your helping hands.
We need to spread out and search for something that may lead us to Calyx. We're more than happy to help, of course, but I wonder, won't he realize we've found this place?
It's highly likely, and personally I hope he does.
Probably has some connection to him. Here to pick up Calyx's trail and learn of a certain device that should help us do just that. I'll explain how we proceed according to the information I was able to dredge up. Device in question should have been installed in the director's office. That's probably the sealed off room. That's where that might be. We're in this room. Northeast, so it's one of these two rooms. Probably this one. Nope, it's that one. I was wrong. Fortunately for us, the interior door is locked. There's a security key with the appropriate clearance to open it. Judging by the mechanism, it's probably be a card of some kind. Can't you work some electro magic? Try my best, but this type of lock is well before my time. It may take a while to crack it. And in case I can't, you might want to look around to see if anyone left a security card behind. Considering the state of the place, it does seem like abandoned in some haste. I shouldn't be surprised if we found one. Well, let's get to searching, shall we? Expect we'll have the most luck looking for where the researchers kept their personal belongings, in pink text, no less. Close cooperation will be necessary to overcome the obstacles bearing your path forward. Helpful hints will appear in a different color. Pays close attention to information provided for comrades, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Welcome at is looking at the garbage. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's look at the notice board. Few indecipherable notes remain pinned to this notice board, but nothing that resembles a security card. And in paperwork. Your documents sit in an untidy stack atop the desk. You find no security cards hidden among them. At least tell us what the bloody thing is about, though. Appears to be the only desk with the drawers already open. You can tell at a glance that the desk's former owner had left some things behind. Yes. You discover a card-shaped object. The electrode surface is marked with a bold level 1. Would that be what we're looking for? Try it on the door and see if it opens. Oh, I didn't get to look at the garbage can over here. There's level dictates the areas you have access. Okay. Oh. The Dutra Lab chief's name has been redacted. That or his name is redacted, and I feel sorry for him. Give that a flick. Or no, we hold it up to the scanner. Okay. Voila! It's open. You did it, Crick. Good thing, too, I was getting nowhere with that outdated circuit. Curious, though. Why would they abandon a facility like this? It was run by a director, Demetrius, or so the terminal told me. Perhaps there are more answers to be had once we venture further inside. Let's continue onwards. The door to the director's office is across the central hub. this only says level 1. This probably needs like a level 3 clearance. The scanner beeps in disapproval. Demanding a level 3 security clearance to open the lock. Yes, we'll probably find like the level 2 card in this room, and then we get to access this one, which then we'll find the level 3 card. Probably what's going to happen. Experiment 148, submitting interference candidate 201930. Ooh, it's in pink too. That means it's important. Give me a second here. Yeah, I do. I play on it during my lunch breaks. Oh, another important number. Maximum value of 11509 recorded. 11509. Result of 9834. Yeah, probably. I mean, when and if I do get the Switch 2, I'll do the system transfer, and then my Switch 1 will just sit on a table somewhere for all eternity. Results of experiment 158. Mark proven in aether retraction rate, so that's what you target value set by Master Calyx. Oh, I will become endless as per our ascendancy protocols. I'll preserve this historic number along with my few remaining worldly effects. Preserve the number? When I began my employment at Preservation, the organization was familiar to me. When the recruitment letter arrived, I had a gut feeling this work would be far more fulfilling than any orthodox medical practice. Six were correct. Master Calyx's philosophy is a refined ideal of notions I've only ever vaguely entertained, that mankind must evolve beyond the shackles of its flesh and blood existence. At a meeting with Director Demetrius today, heard others praise his genius intellect, yet he seems but a guttering candle in comparison to Master Calyx's blinding brilliance. This morning I was permitted access to the top floor and observed the workings of living memory. As predicted, the shortage of aether required to sustain the Endless is reaching critical levels, yet Queen's Fiend insists on continuing her infectual flailing. Our Milala colleagues, including the Proto Lab chief, have been behaving in a decidedly suspicious manner as of late. Should I report my concerns to the director? From tomorrow, I have been assigned to assist with the research project in the Duro Lab. I'm scheduled to conduct a major experiment, the details of which I have been kept ignorant. It seemed prudent to back up my memory data. I don't see the reason to keep switch when it gets switched to. Yeah, that's understandable. I don't know what I'll do with it, because I mean, I do have. It is the fancy Pokemon Scarlet Violet flavored one, so it might be worth holding on to. To look again. That's 148. 538 is this one. 163. All right. Yeah, the room is set up. The canister inserted in that large device looks to be a soul cell. Could this be where they conducted the experiments to create Endless? But we could probably spend days investigating this complex. Finding a way into the director's office must take precedence. Speaking of which, Galuja mentioned a locker over in the corner they couldn't open. Perhaps you could take a look? Our door is shut tight, but the number of pads suggests that inputting the correct combination will open it. Up to 5 digits. Oh, well, that's easy then. Because of the 3 numbers that Wilkelmat ran off, told us, only one group is actually 5 digits. Key card. The locker pops open. Inside you discover a level 2 security card. Got the locker open. And you found another security card. Oh, does that say level 2? We needed a level 3, didn't we? Yes, but should still open more doors for us to explore. You did well, Crick. Yes. Federation members led such surprisingly normal lives. Leaving notes, losing their cards, I guess I imagine they'd be more... what's the word? Bloodless? Mechanical? My parents were once parts of Preparation, if you recall. It would seem the researchers agreed with Calyx and his philosophy underwent the conversion to endless entities. I assume those who could not, or would not, eventually left the organization altogether. Oh, I forgot. The researcher kept journals in these data tablets. The one I read doesn't explain much, but something big happened in the complex and afterwards decided that everyone would become endless. The writer was really happy about this. You could tell how much they admired Calyx and his work. The entries ended after that, but maybe you could read more on the other tablet there. Move this investigation to another room. Well, we have the Duro Lab and the maintenance facilities left to search, both are accessed via the southeast corridor. Back to the hub and the locked door across the way. I'll take the old one if you like. I doubt we'll have any use for it. Here, enjoy your level 1 clearance. Well, that's the one he read off to us. We can't even interact with it. I like this clock that's up here. I already read that one. Cool. Alright. get to open this one. What you do for me when you get it, when I get a Switch 2, you get a Hello Kitty dock sock. I see. I appreciate the thought, Reno. Let's start with the lab. Seem to be any power here. No, none at all. It's possibly energy supply for this room is on a separate conduit, which means there should be a contingency for opening the door. Here, the sign above the card scanner. In case of emergency, backup power can be rerouted from facilities. Facilities room is down the other branch of this corridor. Cool. Circle, square, diamond, triangle. Flashy 4 tiles. I wonder what they're for. We're about to find out. Aging power supply. No good. It's returning an error. Must be a preliminary procedure. According to this error code reference, the power supply has been interrupted for an extended period of time, and we need to reconfigure both the emergency generator and the circuit control panels. Shale? That's the emergency generator over there, isn't it? Yes, but it looks of it the same model as the one used in Heritage Found. But how does it send power to the other lab? Ah, I see. The energy cable attached to the base of this terminal leads down the hall, directly to the Duro lab. Which means we need to find a way to connect the generator to that cable. What are these patterns on the floor? Could this be the circuit we need to reconfigure? Yeah, it definitely does look like it. Okay, an unbroken path from the power to follow. Yeah. Any written procedures, I'll keep digging through the terminal's directories. Would you be willing to try and reconfigure the circuit path? The rest of us can help by supplying Crick with whatever information might be found on the circuitry configuration. I can't read. I mean, it seems easy enough. That depends on how these panels actually move. Based on how I'm seeing this guy probably needs to come where this guy is. These two need to move up. Or can move up. That depends on how it all moves. Take a look at this diagram. On the bottom left about backup power, configure the 4 circuit panels, control panels to provide an uninterrupted path. That's pretty much giving us a... Okay, I see. It has to be looked on the side from this direction. So this is the generator. This is the terminal that Shale was using. So yeah, as I thought, the square and the circle have to go up. The triangle goes here, and the diamond goes here. Circuit will not function with duplicate patterns. Only one of each circuitry pattern can be set. Okay. Yeah. That was easy. Hooray, we have power. Yes. Your lab should now be fully powered. Well done, everyone. Hey, Shell, can we access a certain dialogue before moving on? Datalog before moving on. Checking the storage cells, one of the labels caught my eye. Preservation, the early days is the title. Of course, it'll only take a moment to bring up the contents. That looks to be a text-based account. I'll read it out. Preservation, an Alexandrian institute for technological development, was founded by Calix, an 11-year-old child prodigy. Approval for establishing the organization came during Alexandria's involvement in Storm Surge, where Calix's designs for new defensive solutions, funded in large part by the Treasury. As the conflict grew in intensity and casualties mounted, Calix funneled Preservation's resources towards the perfection of memory storage. Research into this field continued even after the Storm Surge came to an end, with Calix eventually electing to preserve his own memories in a virtual domain. So this account is from before he embraced his endless existence, hundreds of years ago. I met him only once before the Storm Surge began. I was attending my father, who was then the reigning king of Alexandria. Calix could not have been more than 10 years of age and required constant treatment for his debilitating illness. Yet he still published theories so highly regarded that even the royal family was aware of his achievements. Life should not be lost to the injustice of death. And now I can hear the single-minded will behind those words, or his words. So it was that when war came to our kingdom, my father was quick to commit his unwavering support to the somber youth, his proposals for preservation. Several years later, the ensuing violence brought the death of both my parents. Overwhelmed as I was by my sudden succession to the throne, I suspect they spared me the reports on endless research and other less urgent matters. So he had no way of knowing what kind of person Calix was changing into. Did he change, I wonder? Perhaps he has ever been the type to value ideals over compassion, and I failed to see it in time. Or perhaps he did change, but is still driven by those same deeply held beliefs. That mortality is cruel and unjust, and his role to deliver mankind from this fate. But the case may be, we cannot allow him to shape our future. Let's press on, shall we? Yes. Done my job correctly, the door to the Deutero lab should be accessible now. I'll give everything a once-over just to be sure. Door has power now. Shale wants wants the card this time. All right, let's get this door open. Cutscene. What's above? Isn't that... Ah. It's our hourglass. The key to interdimensional fusion? Looks to be a schematic on the monitor. And they've used it to make another key. But isn't it missing the shard inside like the one Crick has? Ah, we may have been laboring under a misconception. The key was originally a Milala relic. Once its treasure came into its possession, preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that all the vessel's components were constructed here. So what might that tell us? This is just a device they made to control it. That would be a logical conclusion, yes. It is as my parents explained. Key remains shrouded in mystery. Preservation augmented it with electrope, but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion. Not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, nor why. Now it makes sense. Calyx can track the key because its vessel was made by preservation. I believe there is much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist Yashula's assistance for a thorough investigation. I too am curious about a great many things, but pinning down Calyx's whereabouts is our priority. Hopefully there's a security card here that grants access to the director's office. Research conducted in the lab appears to have been highly confidential in nature. Some of the personnel must have belonged to the organization's upper echelons, and that means higher security clearance. We should spread out and look for any cards left behind. Remember, anything less than a level 3 is no good to us. Ah, so this is where they made the little chalice. Interesting. And here they're 3D printing it. They're making so many vessels. Did the other ones not work properly? Now they want to mass produce them, so that the common man will be able to perform interdimensional fusion. It's what a family of 4 needs nowadays. Field shelving units. No sign of any security cards, though. Storage crate. Oh, document binders and other miscellaneous objects, none of which are security cards. So all that's left is the cabinet. You see find a security card in the cabinet drawer. Find a security card? Well, that's a stroke of luck. Let's have Shale examine it to be sure. Well, if it isn't exactly what we needed. Nice work, Crick. By level 3, that should get us in the director's office. What was he hoping to find in there again, Shale? saying that a certain device was going to help us. Right, I've probably explained it myself, have I? I'm looking for a data relay. After we discovered this ostensibly abandoned complex, I performed a cursory investigation which detected a connection to an outside network. When I traced the data's routing, I confirmed traffic from a web of Everkeep's security cameras. Considering the way Calyx is always one step ahead of us, we must assume he's quietly seized control of the city's surveillance system and has been using it to monitor our activities. To monitor what you, as the key holder, are planning. Calyx is the ultimate recipient of those transmissions. The flow of data is like a river that we can follow back to him. That's why I need the data relay. If I can analyze the device and see where it's rerouting all the surveillance traffic, then you can pinpoint Calyx's precision. Said he has done nothing to impede our progress, which makes me think that I might be on entirely the wrong track. The reason he's stopping us is because he can't. Back in the old castle, Calyx said he was measuring Crick's strength. What can he possibly dream up that's stronger than him? Oh, speaking of cameras, there's another thing I meant to mention. I found evidence that someone deliberately disabled the surveillance feed in this room. The most recent recording was also crudely deleted. I was able to restore the data, though, if you'd like to see it. Start the show, then. It should be fun.
Are you really planning to leave?
There's voice in this.
Yes. The idea of eternal life. It's begun to frighten me. I struggle to renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches, leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall. We die so that our species may flourish. What would become of mankind were we to halt that process? If unending stagnation is the fruit of our labor, then perhaps we strive for the wrong thing.
Can't get over this guy's haircut.
Your argument is a rejection of Master Calyx's vision.
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on the subject. But I cannot. He and I are too different, in too many ways. I lack his extraordinary genius. I had no illness threatening to cut my life short, no singularity of will to cut away all distractions and focus solely upon research. I have nothing but respect for his determination. The way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself. But I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path. That's why I've decided to leave preservation and put all my effort towards building a legacy for the next generation to come. Surely you...
Whoa. Ups and shoots her.
Protocol, you understand. There can be no exceptions.
She only wanted to leave and he executed her. Checked the images against the personnel data, and the man who pulled the trigger was Director Demetrius himself. Everything I could find on him pointed to a deep infatuation with Master Calyx. Cameras in this room have been out of operation since that incident. Given that the recording was erased, I can only assume he was trying to conceal his grisly deed from the other researchers. Not surprised given how my parents described their defection from the Institute. They spoke of rushing me through a portal, even as Preservation's agents closed in on them. I dared not ask what became of them after that, but it turns out they were captured by the pursuers. That would be why they became, endless. Sure, they did not regret their actions. Right, the Echo. Knowing you saw them as they were, your words give me great comfort. Trial. Worry not, Fiend. Thanks to the Haven of Living Memory, I was at least able to meet my parents and learn what they stood for. It is enough for me to carry on. Even now, we don't know how the conflict unfolded between your parents and Preservation. But we do know that your mother and father cleverly expunged every last trace of her movements. They made sure no one could cross into the source or threaten their child's safety. Right, let's press on, shall we? This tale behind the key deserves a fitting conclusion. To the director's office. That's not the director's office. This is the director's office. Head inside. Use people to Aether and how much energy can be harnessed per individual. Thinking about the key. Something odd. That's an interesting table light. Coffee machine, I assume. Incense and vases, some kind of gem display? It's missing a gem. Terminals are connected to any outside network, so it can't be the data relay I'm looking for. This office is also smaller than the map suggested. Positive we're in the right room. What am I missing? Can I ask you and the others to search the office for any clues to this infuriating puzzle? Cluttered side table. Amongst other personal effects, you find what is presumably the director's data tablet. A closed locker stands next to the table. Let's go to the tablet. Daily reports. Nothing of note. The mystery of the key's activation condition remains unsolved. Key triggered an explosion today. Temporary interdimensional portal verified. Continue attempts to stabilize the core's energy reactions. 13 researchers sustained fatal injuries in the explosion. Memory facilities of 4 personnel sufficiently intact for endless conversion. Remaining 9 designated for Aether reclamation processing. Nothing of note. Rejected resignations of 2 Milala researchers. Major incident. Details in full report. Those 2 inept Milala broke with Preservation and absconded with the key. Though the fugitives have since been caught and eliminated, we were too late to recover the relic. The only reason we retained our flesh was to serve Master Calyx as physical instruments to conduct his experiments. To Deprived of the object of our research, our existence serves no further purpose. I dare not imagine the depths of his disappointment in me. The complex is to be shut down. All personnel will have their bodies reduced to aether, which will be allocated for further experimentation. Memory data will be archived. Any endless conversions will be subject to Master Calix's discretion. If he does not deem us fit, then we are not deserving of eternal life. Damn. All personnel have undergone processing. As the shutdown protocols have been completed, I'll proceed my own corporal dissolution. As long as the key remains in the physical world, we must keep this complex in pristine condition. Whether it be needed for experiments or otherwise, it must be ready to support future operations in whatever capacity Master Calix requires. To that end, facility equipment will be maintained in stasis mode. Furthermore, a critical component for secure room access will be stored separately to defend against unauthorized entry. Oh, I didn't get to look at the locker. Crumpled note wedged between the file binders. Requires passwords to be input simultaneously terminals in the Proto Lab, Dura Lab, and the Director's office. Ah. Here to be empty. Okay. Beverage station. Now active coffee maker has already entered a self-cleaning cycle. Appears to have no other purpose beyond brewing coffee, though it remains to be seen when we'll be able to do so once more. Oh hey, now we get to access the cluttered side table again. Open the locker. Door to locker swings open easily. Oh. It contains nothing of note. You quietly shut the locker door. Yeah. Director definitely had an infatuation with Master Calix. Yeah, I found this crumpled note. Also, don't look in that locker. Instructions for accessing a secure room, no less. Seems we need to enter a password on 3 different terminals at the same time. There's no such room marked on the map, was there? No, a precautionary measure, no doubt. And if passwords are involved, I expect the access lift itself is concealed too. Sealed? By electrope, you mean? Ah, could it be that wall? I thought it seemed odd when I walked past. That wall. Never trust an electrope surface. Electrope isn't always what it appears to be. Of course, electrope is how you alter the look of all Solution 9's floors and walls, isn't it? In this case, it should be too hard to disable. Ah, another door. Managed to evacuate protection, but the lock is another story. Didn't the note say to lay out the password protocol? I said we go ahead and try it. 2 people should prepare the lab terminals for input, while the rest of us look for passwords here in the office. I'll take the Proto Lab. I'll take the Dura Lab. Actually, it might be better if you stayed, Sphene. Your knowledge of Alexandrian's people could be needed here. Yeah, you're right. If the passwords are hiding behind clues, that may be something I can help with. I can help too. I lived my whole life in Alexandria, after all. Take Dura Lab duty, then. We can keep in touch via communicator. We shall have the honor of entering the office password. Let's determine what we need to input to take place at this terminal. Oh, there was that display plate over there, the one with the gems. I thought that since it was made of electrope, it might have some other purpose. Well, it is missing a gem. Which I assume by the colors it would be Green. Well, what is a green gem? What is the name of? Emerald. That's what. Emeralds. Solve the puzzle. Hi. Oh, it's a pretty green stone. I think it might be Alexandrite. They say these gems were so treasured in the past they named the kingdom after them. Hey, look at that. There's the gem that's missing from that display. No, we don't need to look at that sketchy place again. The blue gem is a sapphire and the red gem is a garnet. Also appears to be an empty slot for another jewel to fill. The gemstone fits snugly into place. Almost immediately afterwards, the glowing lines of a diagram appear on display, accompanied by a short phrase. This represents an arcane circuit. Floor plan? May be related to the passwords you're looking for. Sapphire, Alexandrite, Garnet. Those are the passwords. Long words appear to be handwritten. Yes, I knew that you would come in handy. Let me see. Heed the stones. Must be a special meaning Alexandrians have for gems. It's an old belief, I think, where each type of gem means something different. But if he asks Fiend, she could tell you more about it. After all, even her name comes from a gemstone. Alright, so it's not the names of the gemstones themselves, it is what they represent. Hey, Ayami Hazuki, thanks for cricket tuning in. Appreciate it. How you doing tonight? I thought that Alexandrite represents the concept of protection. Oh, I think it's something to do with the passwords? Yeah, what does the red and the blue ones do? Well, they all have meanings. Sapphire is honesty. And garnet is devotion. Try these words at the terminal to see if they're accepted. I certainly hope we're right. I had to do this puzzle twice and kept going, oh heck with it. Wow. That's unfortunate. Alright, I think we got this figured out. And yes, I did look in the closet. It's an unsightly sight. Speedrun of the first dungeon, you don't want to see it so bad. I heard the second boss of the new dungeon is fun, but I'm not that far yet. Oh, actually, hang on. I didn't almost do that. Start with Wooklamat in the Proto Lab. Honesty. Trial should do devotion. And we do protection. Voila. Oh, I'm so glad that worked. Secure room is the only place we've yet to search. If the data relay is anywhere, it has to be in there. And the first boss really much so? Okay. Hopefully I'll be able to get to that by the end of the stream. Speaking of gemstones symbology for Alexandrians, Sphene holds the meaning of eternal light. My parents named me. It was their wish that I become an unwavering beacon of hope for our people. To think on it now, I have ever shared that destiny with my other self. Oh, sweet gaming setup.
This terminal doesn't look special to me, but this is definitely what we're after?
It is. But whether or not it will suffice for our purposes is another question.
The Endless are created using the memories of the deceased. But as memories are, in essence, collections of data, the resultant entities have no physical form.
Indeed.
These data entities, as we might call them, have only two methods for interacting with the material world. One of these we saw in Living Memory, where the Endless are granted temporary bodies through the use of corporeal ether. They become much like solid ghosts that one can see and touch. The other method, which Kafkiwa employed, is the remote operation of a machine. But where do you suppose the Endless are to be found when not inhabiting a physical body?
Probably inside a computer.
The Endless are memories, and if memories are data, then...
We're doing the big think. Inside electrodes, in a world formed of data.
Yes, we suspect they reside in a virtual domain, one contained entirely within an electro-based machine. We've seen such a realm before, after all.
Yep.
Oh, you mean like the Alexandria made from the Endless Fiend's memories? It all seems so real.
So this virtual domain, it would also be housed within the Meso Terminal.
But how? I thought we shut down all the terminals in Living Memory.
You did. And Kafkiwa's program performed just as she intended. The Meso Terminal itself was deactivated, as evidenced by the failure of the device which was keeping Sphene's body in stasis. Be that as it may, we face a master of electrope engineering. That he managed to partition and protect the sector harboring his own memories is well within the bounds of possibility.
Let us say that the Meso Terminal does indeed contain a second domain, and that Calyx himself resides there. This city, on the other hand, exists here in the source. That being the case, I thought perhaps we could prevent his remote interference by closing the gate to the Golden City, and thus severing the connection between worlds.
Except I tried to close it once already when I visited Living Memory. The process required administrative authorization, a restriction I assumed at the time had been imposed by the Queen.
But now you think Calyx might be responsible.
Just as I suspected. Even now, security transmissions from throughout the keep are being tapped by the core system and routed elsewhere. Almost every single one has you as its focus. He's keeping track of the keyholder's movements.
Lovely.
Time's up. And what a waste of time it's been.
Oh, we've been found out.
Hoping to find me by tracing security data? That will not be necessary. Through a not inconsiderable effort, I've taken your measure and prepared a force sufficient to subdue you. Come. I invite you to the upper reaches of the Meso Terminal. The storage device which holds my memories is there. Break the memory bank and victory is yours. I, in turn, will seek to wrest the key from you with any and every means at my disposal.
And if we refuse this invitation?
I will wait and continue to convert Alexandrians into endless. Consider the urgency of the situation and make the wiser choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna come over there and jam this paintbrush down your throat.
Answer me one question, Calyx. The Endless Fiend. When she was queen, you had her face an impossible task, then manipulated her into using the key when she was at her most desperate. If you can do all that, then why not whisk it away when her plans went to ruin? Why let it fall into our hands?
You pour salt in the wound. That disaster was a miscalculation on my part. As her end drew near, Sphene and her restructured memories had become one with the terminal's control systems. In that singular place, in that singular moment, she wielded an authority greater than mine. Thus she was able to shield you, the neighboring sovereign to whom she entrusted her nation's future, and the hero to whom she entrusted that priceless key.
Ah. So it was a last-ditch effort.
I am unsure to what degree she perceived my presence, but she knew that someone was watching. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
It does. And I'm satisfied that you will take nothing more from this nation. Not one more life, not one more future, not one single smile from another child's face. You hear me?
He don't care. Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Sorry for losing my temper, but there's only one way we can deal with people like Calyx. Whatever grand future he envisions, someone will be made to pay the price. And I won't let that happen.
Sure. You think that. He's wrong if he thinks he's taking our measure. The fucking warrior of light, Ming.
If I may, I realize it is not my place to say this,
Even so, I must thank you both.
As you come from hey, none of that. None of those jokes.
On
Kaluja
behalf
already
of
made a
my
joke
other
like that
self,
earlier.
Allow me to say how grateful I am to have you as our champions.
And as they say, big things come in small packages. Well, that was an adventure. And I've been by the method Shale was hoping for, at least we now know where to find Calyx and what we need to do next. Had to get your one in before you commit to becoming a I see. Here's about Preservation's research into the key. That investigation's for another day. Yeah, that'll probably be patch 7.4. Headed straight to the back room. We should get everyone on the same page before we make our move. Yeah, we're back here. Let's go say hi to Jen. Wait until I was this close before snatching away my moment of triumph. Infuriating, condescending way he spoke to us. We'll see whose time is up, this smug little weasel. Get him, Shale. No things didn't go to plan. We learned a great deal about preservation. That knowledge will come in handy in the days to come. I'll not be able to contribute much to a direct confrontation. I mean to see this through you all, providing whatever support I can. We've to Erenville on everything that's happened and sent word to the others. We've now but to consider what our next actions will be. Alex has offered you the opportunity to confront him directly. Though it feels much like striding face first into ambush, we have little choice. If we are to destroy the memories he supposedly has stored in the upper reaches of the Meso Terminal, then that is where we must go. So upset at being deprived of my moment, I nevertheless did my due diligence. Confirmed that the relay we found was indeed transmitting surveillance data to a device somewhere in living memory. Got to fight Calyx. Pray let me fight alongside you. Let me fight for the memory of Otis and Zelenia, for the other Sphene I may have become. Most importantly, for my beloved kingdom and a joyful tomorrow. Yeah, we'll go with the first one. Thank you for understanding what this means to me. Coming with you as well. Yeah, I know you're coming. You're kind of unfortunately mandatory. Fellow Scions also have every intention of accompanying you in a battle. You know, the Scions are supposed to be disbanded. So adamant where Alize and the others on this point have already left for living memory, I'm more than ready to do the same. Alrighty then. Keep patrolling the streets for signs of trouble, especially from anyone wearing narrow regulators. And for me, I'll be on standby here in the back room. What about you? I want to go with you too, but I know I can't. I know that sometimes you have to be patient and trust in your friends. Ron, I think we should talk to Gaussen before we leave living memory. Under Calyx's direction, preservation has helped shape Alexandria's society for centuries. Taking him down will have serious consequences. We need to warn the officials in charge about what we intend. Patience aside, we shall be acting against the wishes of all who desire to become endless. Exactly. We don't know if Gotham will approve or oppose our chosen course, but either way, leaving without a word is the wrong thing to do. Come, we should be on our way. Resolution first, yes? Safe, everyone. We'll see you when it's over. Even people from his village have taken to wearing neo-regulators. We're gonna go beat up Calyx. Hope you're okay with that.
I see. A difficult situation. In the absence of an official sovereign, I agree that it is not Preservation's place to dictate the future of our nation. However, I also cannot simply take a side and declare my support for your efforts to defeat Calyx.
Is that because of the new regulator you wear?
I've yet to register it. I find myself caught between the fear of dying and the desire to carry out the duties of governance. My greatest concern is how we shall stem this ever-increasing terror of mortality when becoming endless is no longer an option. And
But
that's
just
to say
accept it.
nothing of the recent slaughter committed by our own soldiers. The fact that such violence was perpetrated for the very purpose of creating endless will, paradoxically, make it more difficult to endorse your chosen course. It may not seem logical, but for those who lost friends and family in the attacks, halting the creation process altogether would render the deaths of their loved ones utterly meaningless. Is it not cruel to rob them of what little solace they could claim, when we have only just learned what it is to mourn? Tell me, how are we meant to overcome such tragedies?
We stop begging others to teach us for a start. For the longest time, we've been protected by Queen Sphene and the systems put in place by our forebears. The hardships and responsibilities of life were distant things, and we felt entitled to our comforts, even as we barely noticed those who risked everything to keep us sheltered. But no more. From now on, we need to learn on our own. How to live with the promise of death. How to endure the pain of loss. We may never learn to love such things, but we may learn to survive them. The people beyond the barrier, even the Alexandrians of old, they've all had to live with these fears. There's no reason we can't do it too.
Exactly.
What are you all doing here?
Malachite called us in, and the Oblivion members briefed us on the current crisis. You don't stand idly by while your house burns down. We came together and thought about how we could help. Long story short, we've decided to join the fight alongside Oblivion. I say fight, but we're well aware of how little use we'd be in actual combat.
A battle of ideas, on the other hand. Now that we might be qualified to do something about.
Yeah, she's the blind girl. Of course, she's not going to be much of a help.
We'll talk to our neighbors and do our best to quell their fears. Convince them to make the most of this life and enjoy all it has to offer.
Am I doing a new event thing? What do you mean, Reno?
Perhaps that will help to ease your burden.
It certainly will. Even if a few are assuaged by your words, it will make things easier.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. We're in the middle of the main story quest that was added in patch 7.3, which was just a couple of days ago.
Those are the ones we'll concentrate on.
Gossen, if you truly care for the people of Alexandria, then now's the time to start thinking of ways to prevent more deaths.
Were I to become endless at the expense of my countrymen's lives, I would regret it for the rest of my existence.
Off comes the regulator. He's seen the light.
Forgive my weakness. When the people have lost their way, it falls to the government to support and guide them. Alexandria can rise above this sorrow and find its way forward once more. Is that not so, Your Majesty?
Well, that's not Sphene. We don't talk about that.
Indeed it is.
Oh, okay. Oh, there goes.
That wasn't... what I meant to say was...
Calm down, Sphene.
Amity, you used her name.
Now it's all screwed up.
The perfect resemblance to our beloved Queen Sphene has not escaped our notice. Yet we also understand that you are not her. Having to live in secret, unable to share who you really are, that must have been hard on you.
No, that is Sphene. She just can't be queen. Or she's not the queen. The queen.
When you come back, please tell us all about yourself. I imagine yours is a rather outlandish story, but we're eager to hear it all the same. You're one of us, an Alexandrian, and we don't abandon our own.
Oh, and she takes the hood off.
I promise to return. And when I do, I look forward to speaking with you all.
Real Queen of Khan, she technically is like the living body. The Sphene that we met at the beginning of the game was more of an illusion. The one we met at the beginning of Dawn Trail, or when we reached this area, was the soul, while this one is the body. But when we defeated the soul at the end of Dawn Trail, the body woke up. Something like that. It's complicated. Less an illusion, more so the recreated replica of real Sphene. Yes. Because the soul part was determined to absorb everyone's souls to power living memory, so that the endless can stay alive. Something along those lines. Because the endless were like living reincarnations of people who have died a long time ago. but the previous Sphene and this Calyx fella, they want to take everyone who's still alive, turn them into fuel, and use that fuel to keep people who are already dead alive. Killing people to keep fake souls of the dead alive. Yeah, like how Ayame has it written out there. Most recent survey, the number of neo-regulators in circulation exceeds the stated 5,000. Oh. Aaronville. Gotta be some laws against who greenlit that.
They seem much the same.
So listen, you have nothing more to fear than any other normal day.
This dude, if you're talking about the bunny boy we just saw, that's Aaronville. We met him in Endwalker. Where he was a gleaner for Charlian. Fake Sphene was also making it so anyone that died was forgotten. Oh yes, that too. That was another feature of those regulators.
You'd be telling them much the same if you were here. I suppose it falls to me now.
Yeah, no sad allowed in this nation. Only happy. Now we're gonna warp all the way to live in memory. Oh, this place is still depressing. So busy seems an age when we last gathered in such a manner. Say we do make it for a formidable group. Good to see our comrades hail and girded for battle. For us, we've been ahead to expect the lay of the land. There's no changes of note, aside from within the Meso Terminal itself. Why? What's happened to the Meso Terminal? The wall has receded to provide a convenient entrance into the structure's interior. There was no such ingress when last we were here, so we must assume that Calyx has since manipulated the terminal's electrope. All to facilitate his most gracious invitation to the upper levels. Invitation I am eager to accept. For the sake of all who love Alexandria, I will not yield or leave them to despair. What do I need the most of? Not that I've been using materia as of late. Damn, I need that direct hit rate. Grab that. See anything different? No. Bother. Everyone determined to be here is present and accounted for. Shall we make our way to the terminal? Wouldn't wish to keep our insistent host waiting. That's a fancy car. Oh, there's someone cosplaying as Rydia. We're again facing another battle to decide Alexandria's fate. Yeah, let's not make this a third trip. Centuries I slept here. Upon awakening, I found the world as I knew it had changed. So frightened at first. I couldn't recognize a single thing and thought everything I had loved had gone to dust. Yet beneath the unfamiliar surface, much remained the same. For that, I give thanks to Otis and Zelenia and their royal knights who lay their lives on the line to defend our way of life. Thank every Alexandrian who believed in our future and passed on our legacy. I thank my other self who so loved this kingdom of ours. I thank you all for kindling this hope in my heart, this courage to take up arms and fight once more. So let us make our stand together and fight for what we hold dear. Kind and gentle Queen Sphene was too weak to serve her people, so she will serve them no more. Free from conscience, I shall be a ruler that can protect Alexandria, a devourer of worlds. I'll rise to the challenge that the endless fiend could not. That we shall. Her wish to see Alexandria endure is one I am happy to fulfill. Let's head inside and finish this. The upper reaches of this terminal await the device which holds Calyx's memories. It falls to us to make the climb and destroy it once for all. We must bring matters to a definite end. will not suffer him to cause Alexandria further harm nor claim the key. Queen entrusted it to Crick for good reason. Besides, it would be a tragedy indeed to relinquish a relic with so much research potential. Errandy Calix thinks he's taking your measure. I urge you to correct that misguided assumption. Would largely occur, yet would still counsel caution. That he would be so bold as to extend us an invitation bespeaks tremendous confidence in his preparations. Come, friends, we set forth in the midst of dreaming endless. A Meso Terminal now accessible. We finally unlocked the new dungeon of the patch. I like how there's now two